Hi and welcome to this Blueberry Markets video update with me, John Kibler, Head Currency Analyst. In this video I'm going to go through the US dollar index, what I expect to happen to the US dollar over the coming days, and what we could potentially see coming in the future. Now, the dollar's a little bit bid at the moment, and that's due to some obviously some news out of the US that Apple could be facing some profit warnings just because of the coronavirus and how that's affected their production. So we're starting to see a little bit of risk off re-enter the market at the moment. Obviously the US hasn't started, session hasn't even begun yet. It's a good few hours away, but in the UK we've started to open and we can see that risk off sentiment coming back into the market, which is looking at the dollar should help the dollar move to the upside. However, the market is at a huge resistance level. If we go to that weekly time frame, you can see it's at these yearly 2019 yearly highs. The bullish candle last week does suggest we should see a continuation this week into key resistance. So what I'm expecting is the potential for the market to continue to rise only short term, for then for the market to reverse. Now, looking at this as well, we can just add a few confluences in here. So the RSI indicator shows the market in that overbought condition, but also look at how the market ranges are looking. You can see the past sort of 4 candlesticks here are really shallow in range, considering the past sort of 9 to 10 candles are pretty decent in size. And typically when you start seeing that sort of that sort of shallow range, there usually is an opposite reaction. Okay, it comes back into support here, rallies, opposite reaction sort of here, market rallies again, shallow range, market falls away. Okay, and then we obviously get that big turnaround after breaking those lows through there. But I'm looking at this shallow range here and thinking that this market could easily move to the downside. Okay, so what I do like about this dollar potentially moving lower as well is the 4 hour. So if I just go down into the 4 hour time frame and just show you what's going on here. Look at all this divergence. So we can see that the RSI is making lower highs and price is making higher highs continually. That's a really good sign that the market could roll over, just because of that divergence through there. So what we may actually see is, if we do get another higher high, a rejection up here around about that 99.40, and then that move to the downside coming into play. I like the fact that we're making this compression pattern as well at the top of a long-term move. That also suggests that we are going to start seeing maybe some short selling coming in on the US dollar. I do want to be long-term buyer, so I want to wait for these. Well, I want to see that pullback. I want to see the market come back down into these key supporting areas so that I can look for long opportunities, because through a presidential cycle the US dollar is very strong. So I want to keep buying the US dollar on those pullbacks, but at the end of the day we've got to see those pullbacks play out and we can trade both ways. So I'm waiting for some kind of follow through here. Just an update to New Zealand dollar. I'm going to cancel this trade. The market has moved lower, didn't trigger, move lower down to the sort of opens and closes of that cycle just through here, which is also a possibility of what could happen. So I'm going to cancel that order through there. There's nothing, it's not that the order was wrong, it's just that it didn't trigger. And I'm going to wait for another potential opportunity. I still like the idea of buying the US, the Kiwi, in line with that dollar falling. I'm just waiting for some kind of reaction here. So I need to see a bullish daily candle. If I get a bullish daily candle here, that would suggest that we are going to see a potential higher low that we could look to buy on the move up. So I was looking for the potential buy above, just because we had those nice wicks to the downside. Again, small ranging candles, looking for a break above those. We didn't get it. Markets moved lower overnight. Again, that risk off sentiment coming back into the market, however short term that may be. So if we see by the end of the day that this has turned into a bullish candle, or tomorrow we get a bullish reaction from around this similar sort of area, then I'm going to be looking for those long opportunities on Kiwi dollar. But at the moment, nothing here for us to sink our teeth into. Okay, so just keeping an eye on that dollar index. This is also going to affect Euro US dollar as well. So if we look again at this sort of 4-hour time frame, we'll see that the market's making higher lows on the RSI, lower lows on price, which is again bullish divergence, and there could be some upside to come. So just keeping an eye on what's going on here. There's quite a clean trendline resistance there, so if we get a break above that, we could see a rally to the upside. I like the fact as well that the market is kind of creating a 3 drive pattern. So we've had 1 push down, 2, 3. Are we going to get that big move to the upside, which we typically see after this type of pattern at key supporting areas? Okay, so keep your eye on this. Keep an eye on the US dollar index if you can, and yeah, just keep an eye on the potential moves coming from a potential dollar short. A lot of potentials there, but hope you enjoyed this video update, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.